Hey, what's up, everyone? Ode here. And before you go any further, I want to remind you all that this is part 2 of our conversation with Evan and Antwan. If you have not heard part 1, you want to go over to episode 95 and listen to part 1 because this episode starts right where we left off. So make sure you go check out part 1 and then come right back here for part 2 and now into our regular scheduled program. If you enjoy our show, spread the love wherever you listen by rating, reviewing, subscribing, sharing, all that good stuff to help us get ourselves out there. And with that said, let's start the show. I'm Ode. That's Vicky. I'm me. You're you. We are we.
Oh my God, that was so corny.
The You, Me, We
goodness.
podcast.
Real talk. We were in an argument. We had just moved into this apartment in Newark, right? Mm-hmm. We were having an argument, and he, Ode was just being Ode when he argues. He was loud. He was all like, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
So we were like, it was like two lions, right? And then like in the middle of us arguing, we just hear, and we open the door and it's two police officers. And we're like, oh, no, we good.
No, We're good.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
I was like,
fine. Right, everything is fine, officer.
I was talking
good.
to my cousin about this yesterday.
And he was like, maybe one of you should take a walk. You don't remember that? He
That's
said,
what-
maybe one of you should take a walk. And we're like, no, we're fine. And then after that was like, yo, one of us can't, we can't both be there at the same time.
Oh.
Because nothing had even gone down. And it was like two officers at the door.
We had that. Our first blow up, and it was last week. Mind you, we've never had a blow up this bad in all 4 years. But it was simple situation. He was upset about something that he thought was broken. Again, I told you when he does something wrong, he gets very upset. So he rang the doorbell. I'm in the house. He's coming home from work. He rings the doorbell, and I didn't hear the doorbell. So the next thing I see is him coming in the room with this look on his face, and he's like, "You didn't hear me ringing the doorbell?" So the first thing I said is, "Well, why are you ringing the doorbell? You live
I was
here."
thinking, I was like, let me not say
first
nothing.
I'm like, why are you ringing the doorbell?
First off,
So he says, because I had stuff in my hand.
in my hand, though. I had mad stuff in my hand,
I
so
don't
I couldn't
care.
even
Put
get
it
the
down.
keys in my like.
I didn't
keys
hear
were
you.
inside the
I
bag
didn't-
already. I had bags.
But
in
you're
my
like
hand.
letting yourself get so flustered.
And,
Flustered.
Well,
and if I
listen.
would have heard the door, I would have got up. I would have came and opened the door, and I would have said, "What's wrong?" You would have said, "Baby, this happened." I would have said, "Okay, let's go fix it." But he came in yelling,
Now I'm feeling
and
attacked.
this was
Now
a
I'm
day.
feeling
This was a
attacked.
day. And then you have to remember, there's business stuff going on. There's this, that, and the third. And there's a lot of stuff going on.
And we went at it.
And
it was a good.
He came in yelling, and I yelled back, and I said, "Okay, that's it. I'm leaving because that's what I do. Because when I feel myself hitting the roof, the best thing for me to do is to walk out and get
For your well-being.
and mine too, and to get all of the fresh air that I could possibly
You don't want none of this
consume.
smoke.
You don't want exactly. You don't want it.
So
And
I
had
just
to
walk
get-
out.
Well,
I
I
just
had to get a
leave.
little loud with him. I had to get a little buck as well. Like, you need
But
to,
you bucked.
You
You
can watch
came-
your tone.
You came in bucked.
But I was flustered again. It was my passions. Okay.
Mind
I
you,
was passionate.
Here I
because
am,
you didn't hear the doorbell.
waiting all day
I
for you
had
to
no,
come
like-
home. Where's my
like-
baby?
like-
I'm waiting for my baby, and then baby comes in the door. Hey, I was like,
But you know
whoa.
what's crazy?
Oh.
You know what's crazy? Think about it. If we go back to the root of the whole argument, he didn't hear the doorbell. That's all it was. Or
Yeah, that's what it was.
or if you looked inside, I could have just put the stuff down and opened the door myself.
But but that.
If we were, and
if you were able to
But
calm
that
down
is-
and rationally think, and
know
it
what?
was, and I wasn't trying to be funny about it because I do know him enough to know that when he gets flustered, he loses it. He doesn't think straight. If he's holding something that's going to hit the floor, it's like that. So I knew that, okay, there was obviously a problem. But like I said, if number one, open the door like a regular person, come in the house and say, "Baby, there's a problem." When do I ever not jump up to fix the problem?
Well, that's also another thing of living together. Like you have to, I've learned, be mindful of how are you driving the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how are you bringing? What kind of energy are you bringing into, like, something, into an argument? Like, damn, maybe if I would have done this differently, maybe it wouldn't have gone this way. And like, the more often you do that for yourself, the less times you allow yourself to create.
Knows. As a Cancer, we always think about this after we.
Oh yeah,
after.
Like I'll think about that, but it's always after. Then I say, well, damn, what can I have said?
Yep.
Right.
Why did I scream? And I sometimes get on myself like, damn, why did you start off yelling? Like when I think back, I'm like, yo, you started off yelling. And that was wrong, especially to him, because when I start off yelling,
I'm not listening. Oh
it
yeah,
becomes.
I'm not. I checked out.
The argument is no longer. It's not.
It's no longer.
No point.
There's nothing there. The minute you start raising your voice, I'm already checked out. I'm done. I'm done. Because now it's either, like I said, it's like either I'm gonna get disrespectful and loud and ignorant with you two, or like I just have to shut down and like really let you do what you have to do, let you get it all out, and then. Let me simmer.
I actually appreciate that.
Let
me get it out.
And then
I appreciate that because I need to get it out. I can't keep it in. If I hold it in, then I'll do something mean like trip you when you're walking. Like it'll come out in some other kind of way. So you gotta let me
in the most pettiest way,
very petty way. Drink all of the orange juice, but like this much. Like, and know you want that orange juice.
Oh, he's done some petty. Like I've caught on to the petty likeness that he's already been doing.
Like I'll hear you say, I can't find my phone while I'm watching your phone.
And I've been looking at it. Mm-hmm. Oh, just today when we came from the grocery store. He wants to be Hulk Hogan, and he's taking all the stuff in the house. So I'm like, okay. Mind you, I'm trying to walk to the house with his bag. He's coming, grabbing him out of my arms. I'm like, okay. And then so I go back to the car, and I see his phone. So I said,
Oh, yeah.
I said, do I bring it in the house? So I just put it in my pocket and walked in the house.
Petty.
So then he's going out the house. He said, is there anything else in the car? I said, no, just your phone here. I got it.
I swear. I'm telling you. One of these days, it's just going to be like.
Don't say that.
And it's going to come out of love and passion.
Don't say that. Y'all heard that, right?
What would you say? What would you say is, and a question for you, Vicky, question for me. What would you say is, what's the best thing or the main thing you've learned about yourself since cohabitating? Like what's the one thing you say, you know what, this is the one lesson that I appreciate, the one lesson that I
oh gosh.
You go first.
That I'm still learning from when it comes about myself.
Yeah. Just by living or in dating, or like I would say
just living together.
You know what? Living together overall, from being together. Yeah.
Oh gosh, Damn.
And it's for all of us. So
I would
get your
have
answer
to
ready.
say, okay, well, with being with him, I will say I've learned a lot about myself with like patience, a little bit of patience. Just I have to have just a teensy bit more, just maybe a little teensy more, and then I will say I have to learn to be what he thinks. I need to be a little bit more nicer and kinder to my family and people closer to me, because to him, he thinks I was not very kind.
Well, okay.
Well, I see the kindness there. That's why I love you. But I know that when someone speaks of you being, a little mean, I'm like, oh, I know where that comes from.
Do you feel you're mean to them, or not as nice to them, or not that you don't care, but what's what I'm looking for? There's a.
It's like
I don't want family to take it wrong. They're listening.
Right.
I'm choosing my words carefully.
Okay.
I'm choosing my words carefully. He just has a way of being. This is how you grew up with them, so you don't change that attitude that you had when you were 16. When your mom gets on your nerves, you backlash the same way, and it's like you can't do that now because your brothers are looking at you.
No, but you can do it now.
No, but your brothers are looking at you, and you cannot show them that when they turn 20.
This is what I'm saying.
However,
and
this is how you act. You can't show them.
Like you can't tell me how to be upset. And actually, I feel like you can't tell me how to be upset and how for me to take a certain kind of either a way or approach.
No, but you can control what you portray to the young men who are looking up to you.
Why is that?
You don't have to be. You are. It's just the way that it is. You're going to be their role model. And you have to be careful with what you. That's all. I have a younger brother as well. I have two younger brothers just like him, and they're all in the same age bracket. So it's I have.
But I am very. What is the word? Not cognizant, or is that our new
You're
word?
trying. Yes, he's
that I am
trying.
being. I am, and I will say to at least. Oh, I know you know this. Come on, didn't I win that birthday challenge?
Yeah,
okay.
you know your family
thank
well.
You,
Vicky does that with me, but she doesn't. Vicky be like, "Okay, just let your mom be." I'm like, no, she needs to know when she.
Yeah, and I was like, you ain't gotta do all that. That's your mom.
Like, you can't keep being the 16-year-old having a tantrum.
No,
Right.
To your mom.
Right.
Like, you have to be like, all right, mom, look, we're not going to do this, and we're going to let it go, and I'll call you later.
But this is how.
But they don't respond to.
It's right. I know, Ode. I know.
Because I'm like, wow,
their
you
mothers
guys are
aren't
so
Guyanese.
related.
They don't know.
To answer your question, this is the exact answer. What I've learned from being with him throughout the last 4 years and throughout this month is that I enjoy kind of trying to like put him in a grown man's mindset, because when we met, he was a young, wild kid, and now he's, I enjoyed this part because I don't have patience. And so I've never seen myself walking someone with, holding his hand and just, be nice to your brothers, be nice to your family,
love one another.
I've never seen myself
cursing so much.
Oh, his mouth is horrible.
He said saying that I have such a potty.
Yo.
I'm expressive. I feel like these are words.
I feel like I need the
again
emphasis.
in 1 year, and let's revisit. I think we should revisit this in 1 year.
It's that sometimes I need to drop a F-bomb because I want you to know how much I meant
that. Like,
what
you
I
need to
said.
see. It's like a little seasoning to the sentence.
But
That's
sometimes the seasoning is not even needed.
When you give me the seasoning,
I need the seasoning.
It makes me. That's the stuff that I take personally. Like, well, damn. What did I do?
Yo, it's like 9 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Who put this effing cup here? Just ask who put the cup there.
Or just a random F-bomb for no reason. What? Is the house is the roof caving? What's the problem? Is there a bomb going on outside? Like, I don't understand.
He said,
I just start saying them in Spanish.
Right. See, that's what's going on. I ain't calling you, man.
Yeah.
So, Vicky, what have you learned? What have you learned from being with all this goodness?
It's hard. It's been 10 years. It's a long time. I learned a lot. Well, I've definitely matured.
Vicky was
in a more
the wild,
docile way.
Mm-hmm.
I've matured more docile. Like, I'll think before, like, wanting to hit someone.
She's talking literal, though.
I am talking very literal.
Yeah. I see it in your face.
Because I'm the first person to be like, I have bail money, sis.
Right,
you can do this right now.
Right, you'll get this. You'll catch this fade ASAP.
Yeah,
like within no
yes.
second. I'm with you on that.
I grew out of that.
Especially if I'm alone.
Like,
I became no more. Like, once I turned, once he turns 30, he'll see. Once I turned 30, I was no longer ready to jump on everybody.
I'm 33.
Please. But listen, people need to understand, okay, the way you speak.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I still have bail money ready.
Like
the bail money is on ready.
It's just on a credit card now.
The only time
I mean, it's ready.
The only time I'm calm is like if I'm with Kalel, then I'll like be like, well, if something happens.
And he always tells me to calm down when I get irate because I get, people in public get me going. But then when it takes nothing for him to turn into a Tasmanian devil in public, and I just sit back and let him spin all over the store and terrorize.
No, but I've definitely like become more calmer because
more
like
lose.
trying to match Ode's energy because he's so laid back. So when he's not upset, he's so laid back. So I'm just like, I guess trying to find that equilibrium between us made me like chill out a little more.
I think for me, it was, especially early on, or the first little over half of our relationship, it was patience, same thing. Learning patience. And now it's more, the lesson I'm learning now is it's more humility. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for. Humility, because, with therapy, we've been through a lot. And I know for a fact I've shifted some of my behavior from how I was the first half of our relationship. And I feel like a lot of my behavior now isn't beneficial to like our growth. I'm not doing anything crazy, but my behavior just doesn't help our conversations, our arguments, whatever. So I'm learning to accept that. I'm learning to admit to it. Admit to, hey, this behavior is wrong. Stop doing that. Start doing this. Be more consistent with this. So there's a lot more humility that I'm learning now.
10 years in will give you humility. I mean, you have to realize that this person knows you better than anybody else at this point. No one knows you. I mean, you know, we have our parents and our family members, siblings, or whatever. But when you become intimately involved with someone, live with someone, and then you survive together, and you've been doing this for 10 years, I mean, honestly speaking, humility is nothing else that you can get. I mean, if you haven't become humbled by it, then you're not really, you're
not really participating in that relationship. There's no way.
Exactly.
It's time for you to go.
You're not in it. Yeah. I look forward to it. I want us.
I want to get to that.
Have
let me tell you, I want Grandma and Pop Up, no shade. Like, they've been together for the longest. Like, I want that kind of.
I've always told Vicky, and this is not to show shade on anybody, but there is a certain generation in our family that, for our generation, that's who we should look up to. They've all been married for years. We'll be at the family get-together, seeing them dancing.
And he's never seen, like, the way that my grandparents dance on the floor is so disrespectful. Like, I really want to get to that level. Like, it's like, there's no, like, I'm like, I want someone to love me.
Yo, like that generation, that group.
It's never going to happen.
That group, yo, they are like, they're like the poster children of what we all want to get to. Yes.
And I look forward to those. You know, I look forward to that. And in every relationship that I've ever been in, I've always had the mindset of I want to get there. I want to get there. Yeah. And again, you know, I just told someone the other day that we've been together for 4 years, and they're like, "Wow, that says a lot about you." I'm like, "Listen, I mean, I'm not out here throwing my feelings around, and me being as emotional as I am." It's a lot to be slinging around. You can't be. It's like a shotgun going willy nilly. Like we can't do that. We can't. I have to keep it contained.
Yeah.
Let's play some cards.
Let's do the cards.
Since y'all are here, we figured we would have you join us in this segment where we play a quick little card game. We stopped naming the card game because they're not a sponsor of the show, so no free plugs.
Right.
But do your Googles or check our old episodes and find out what the game is. It's a nice little card game of questions, nice little conversation starters. Vicky and I have played many times on this show, and we thought you should join us. So grab a card, pick a card, one card.
Here you go. Just pick any card.
Any card.
All right. I'm going first? Mine's kind of deep.
You're still talking.
Mine's kind of deep. What do you feel is still unresolved between us?
Oh,
See, these are the cards we try to avoid.
Now we're going to have a whole conversation on the way home.
Oh, we really are.
Okay. What do I feel still unresolved?
That we haven't already talked about on air.
I would say I don't know if there's like a specific word for it, but I think that our intimacy.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Not enough adult time? No, I'm joking.
I was just about to say like, not physical.
I get it though.
But
I understand.
I'll admit to that. That is something that we've been working on. If anyone listening, it's not that we're like, oh, we were like disgusted by each other. No. But over the years, things we've gone through, it has taken a toll on just, and some of it mostly from my end, it has taken a toll on like, what's what I'm looking for?
Your participation.
My participation in our intimacy. In our intimacy just from like, you know.
It's a cancer thing though.
Yeah.
Our emotions are controlled. Control everything that we do. So when our emotions are a little convoluted, you see that in our intimacy and communication. Mind you, I can communicate very well, but if I have some sort of
something going on,
then
it's
I
like
shy
a
away.
block, everything.
Yeah, it's just true.
All right. When you think about us, what comes to mind?
When I think about us, what comes to mind? Honestly, I think of Kalel and our home, because I feel like those are two things that through everything we've gone through, the ups and the downs, the sideways, the everything. Those are two signs of what we can build together. So our home and Kalel.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Aww.
That's nice.
What you got?
What you got over there?
In what ways do you feel that you heal me?
Oh, jeez. We just talked about that. I think I make you a nicer person and realize that you have to be nicer and not so snappy all the time and quick with people. And, you know, I mean, he was a really big diva, like when we met, as far as the way just the way he would look at people on the street sometimes. I would just be like, why are you looking at her like that?
You know, I'm just going to sum it up to early 20s, okay? Because that was me too.
Right? Like, it's just...
It's it's like you say, smoke. It's like he's got smoke. Everywhere he goes, you making smoke.
Like, yo, you don't even know her.
We would be on the phone and he would go in the house and his mom or somebody would say something to him and he's like, I don't know why you're asking me. Whoa. Be nice. Be nice.
That is true. You have made me a better person.
I try. This is and that actually goes to the question that I have. But anyway.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, because my question says, if our relationship was represented by a painting, what would that painting look like? And in my mind, the first thing that came up with is this masterpiece, because after 4 years, I'm still like, you know, I want to get, like, I want to go closer. I want to know more. I want to go out on dates all the time. I still want to do stuff like before. Like, I still want to sit there and ask questions and create. I mean, because I know for a fact that when I look at us from the outside, like when I stare down on us, I'm like, we cool. Like, we get along. We have a lot of things.
For now.
And that's good. That's
good. And I think, and I really feel like it's gonna be that way.
As long as you don't get mean.
And like,
when you get mean, I can't do mean.
I mean, I don't. It's not mean. It's passion. It's passion.
Stop doing that.
It's passion.
Stop
it's not
it.
mean.
With the
It's
passion.
not mean. It's
I'll
called
show you
passion.
some passion.
So what does your painting look like?
I think the painting would be.
It would be very abstract.
Lots of colors. Lots of colors. Lots of very like splattered. You know how if you would just go in there and then just lots of reds.
Definitely
For the
red.
passion.
Passion. Red for blood splatter.
And, or whatever.
You know,
it's abstract. It's for anyone to interpret.
It's up to your own. No, but I do believe that it would be a very crazy painting of just abstract colors. And it would be something huge because we're big when we're around each other.
Very grand. We like grand. We like opulence. That's
Yeah.
basically.
That's so
And put it in a nice Baroque gold frame.
Yeah. Very
like
regal.
very much
Very
regal.
Oh, that's really
That's
nice.
awesome. That's awesome. So let's end on a positive note. We like to leave on a positive because Vicky and I, in the past, we used to do like a what grinds your gears kind of segment with each other.
We're like, we cannot handle that.
Yeah.
This was pre-therapy, so we weren't there yet.
I was gonna say that's that 10-year humility thing.
Yeah.
We know not to push buttons.
I can't wait to get to those goals, man. Come on.
We're like, Ode, we can't do this. You know how many times we've had to argue? We've gotten into arguments
And just stop
because
recording.
of the topic of the podcast.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like we would finish recording and I would just get up
And
and just walk right out.
That's a
Or
fear
there'll
of
be
mine.
like points where we'll sit down and we'll record and we'll exchange like maybe 3 words and we're like, we can't do this.
I know another couple.
Yeah, because
a
it's
gay
so,
married
like-
couple.
What was that?
I know a gay married couple who does a podcast, and they get on there and they'll go 3 weeks in a row. Show's coming out on time. Then week 4 comes, and then you're getting a 3-day late show, and they're like, "Sorry, we weren't talking.
Yeah.
You know, we weren't talking."
Literally
And
what we
so-
say.
We thought about doing it, but I'm like, oh no, that would be us, and our business would be in the street.
And the streets
Because
way
we
too-
wouldn't be talking.
Yep.
It would be one of those things we would go sit down and record, and the look would go wrong, and I'd be like, all right, that's it.
That's it. It's done.
No,
It's
it's-
done.
We'll try
it
sometimes.
And then it'll be the way. Well, why you gotta say it like that? I'll
Yup.
take it some kind of way.
Yeah.
We'll try sometimes, and halfway I'll be like, you want to just stop recording now? Like, you want to just?
And I'll be like, I know he's not trying to give me no attitude. I'm out of here. I'm out.
Like, who are you talking to
Yes.
right now?
I'm like, I'm out.
And then there's times where like prior to recording, it's the attitude. Blah, blah, blah. All right, press play. Welcome back to another episode. and as soon as we're done.
I want to get to that. Though. I want to get to
That's
actually
life.
learn how to put it on and like him in public if I'm mad at him.
I can't.
I can't. And I can't. And then the thing is, my energy is so strong that everyone else would feel it. And no, and there's been times, and to be truthfully honest, like there's been times where I shouldn't say I turned down the mood, but everyone else has felt it. And I had to switch into gear and say why I was feeling a kind of way, basically, because he had pissed me off with something. Well, something that had transpired with involving him, and it pissed me off. And then everyone else felt it, but I had to like really put in gear because, mind you, it was a good time we were all having, and it's like
that's me.
This is when that touch comes into play.
You're like you're doing too much. Calm down.
Or even just I'm sorry I upset you. You know, like okay, I'm here. Like it's like I'm telling you, it's an energy. It's a transfer of energy that works with him. I don't know why, but it works. It instantly cools him, and he takes a moment. Usually when he gets upset, he won't look at me in my eyes. But once I touch him, he'll make eye contact, and I know that I'm breaking through.
Instead of like Vicky the other night, it's like 11 o'clock at night. I'm just in one of my. I'm not angry. I'm not mad. I was just in a kind of mood. I'm just done. I'm just Vicky. It's like it's the end of the night, the end of the day. Vicky's like, "Is there a problem? Anything you want to get off your chest? Something you want to say?" I'm like, "No." If she had just did the whole, you good? Like you just seem kind of, but you good? I would have been cool with that, but not something you want to get off your chest. I was like.
Off my chest? What did you think is on my chest? Did you think there's something on my chest?
But why are you? Why are you being like? No,
I totally get that.
I understand. Cause no, Vicky.
It takes time. Now, before it used to irritate me. He would be like, "No, I'm okay," and I'm like,
I really am okay.
Don't lying. Like, why are you lying?
I don't even care anymore.
It's literally just it's like I call it a transition period where I'm coming from one mood and I'm actually getting myself to get into another mood because cancers are very moody. And I know that, okay, whatever, even if it wasn't a bad mood, but just because I'm transferring into a different mood, maybe I'm about to do something, I have to go somewhere, or whatever the case may be, I'm usually trying to get my mind together so that way I can put my face on for whatever it is that I'm about to do.
And prepare yourself.
And prepare myself so that way they don't get what he's seeing when I'm in the house.
But you know what? It took time for me not to, like, I really don't even care. Like, I've gotten to a point where I'll ask Ode, like, are you okay? And he'll be like, yeah. And I'm like, whatever.
Like,
and I'll keep it moving. Before, I would be like, oh my God, like, why isn't he opening up to me? Like, why is he not talking to me? Now I'm like, all right, that was your chance to be honest. If you don't want to be honest, I'm good. I'll keep going about my own business.
Everything
That's
is
on
fine
you.
person if I've ever met one in my life. Mind you, he's slamming doors, throwing things.
But
what's
I
wrong?
need to take it.
Nothing.
I'm good. Nothing.
Fine.
I'm fine right now. I'm fine right now. I'm fine. Let me process what I need to do. So tell you and now let me come to you properly. Because if I come to you right now and how I am and what's going wrong, you're not going to like it. You're going to see the passion that you have. It'll be a matched passion that I don't want you to see.
Just don't break anything.
I told Vicky I'm the epitome of that meme that says where the guy is like looking the other way and the girl's like, what does he think? He think about other girls. And the guy's like, is this black or dark gray?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's me. That's me. But I need those moments
so
in between like one thing to another thing to just let my mind just like stop. And I guess I don't realize it's manifesting itself in a mood or something.
A cold phase. We get cold.
Yeah, but I'm really just like I'm just like empty at the moment. Just like I have nothing to give right now. I don't want to give anything. I don't want to do.
I'm cleaning out the system so I can put more juice in there. So, you know how you clean out your water container.
That's what our therapist
Clean it out, and then you add the new stuff in.
That's what our therapist said. And I blame some of it on the things that I do. When I'm at work, I always have to be on. When I'm DJing and hosting, I have to be on. So when I'm not on, I'm just off. I'm just like.
It's a good thing to do though.
So right now we're trying to find a good balance.
Yeah.
The middle part of it. Okay.
What I find is a good thing. I'm sorry to cut you off. No. Go. You know, really good to find that balance. What I do is I literally, and I hope that I continue to do this. I go reach out for him, and instead of me being cold because that's how I am all my life. Like that's what I'll do. I'll be like, okay, let me go sit next to him, even if I don't talk to him. But I just need to sit next to you, or just
be randomly like, why?
Yeah.
Where did you just come from?
It's my way of like.
You're like, why are you here?
Why are you here?
Yo, it's my way of looking at it as, okay, you know what?
What's going on?
This is gonna make me calm. This is gonna, just like my little touch to him. It's like, this is gonna make me calm, and it helps me to say, okay, stop thinking about whatever you're thinking about, or nothing that you're thinking about, and think about him.
I know that
I like
feeling.
that.
Yeah, I'll be in here sometimes, and Vicky just wants to like, maybe she wants to just be around me or just relax. And I'm here like this. I'm like, what the fuck is she doing?
Yo, he says that, and he's like, like when you lay on my couch, it's like why are you here? And I'm like, at first I was like so irritated because I'm like, nobody's here for you.
Or there's
You have a couch on the same level of my office, and it's less effort to come this way and lay here than to go down this. I'm not here for you. I don't even care about
Nobody's
you.
even thinking about you.
No one is thinking
it's
about
a matter
you.
of, I really was expecting to go into my own show right now. And I wasn't looking to see another face in here. Like, why is this face in here? What are you doing here?
Like, mind your business. Stick to your screen. I just want to lay on the couch for a few minutes.
There's definitely times when I'll be in my little zone, whatever, like watching TV, and Vicky will come by. There's times when she'll stand next to me and do the whole like. And then there's times when she'll just take it upon herself to just lay down and cuddle in. I'm just like,
that would be me.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
that would be me.
He's like a dog.
you're in my bubble. Get out of my bubble.
His head just starts lifting up my arm.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
I just want, like you said, I just want to be, I just got to feel a little affection.
But the feeling I have, but I feel like you just put a weighted blanket on me. I'm like, get off.
And I start
I'm
thinking
never asking
in
for
my
a hug.
head how to get away. Like, can I slide out this way?
I hate you.
But physically,
Now I know how
on the
it-
outside,
now
you're like
I
this.
But I'll
feel.
just sit there. But on the
But in
my
inside,
head, I'm like, all right, do I go this way? Do I wait 5.5 minutes?
Never again,
Do I wait
Jose.
5.5 minutes or should I wait 3 minutes? Like,
No way.
Never again.
but then the next day, you'll probably walk by her and walk by him and be on some whole like,
baby, come here.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like
what I do
want you
sometimes.
right here. That's what I said. I try to get myself out of that zone by just purposely putting myself in his space. So that way I'm not thinking about whatever was on my mind. I'm thinking about him. And then that way it can change my mindset. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And it has nothing to do with him. It's just me and my weirdness, and especially
Intricateness.
I like that though. That he tries
Yeah.
to like get himself out of that
I
zone.
have to. Because if not, I'll stay away for hours. I can go for hours and just go and be by myself.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm working on practicing that
Yeah.
because I know I just stay in it.
Yeah.
I stay in it sometimes until I just what I say naturally. I feel like I naturally got out of
You
that.
just
No.
the mood changes and you'll be singing. You'll start singing a song, or I'll start singing randomly, and that's how I know. Like, okay, I feel better
Yeah.
because I'm singing, and I'm like, okay,
Not realizing that I just gave her the cold shoulder for
right.
like 4
Or a
hours.
few minutes ago, right? I was really nasty or said something
You're
short.
so nasty and so rude.
But
now
Like,
I'm
don't
singing.
talk to me.
But to bring it full circle, but why we gotta acknowledge it though? Why I can't just start talking to you? Why I can't just start talking to you? Why we gotta call it out? Mic drop. Like,
And that's
That
it.
was good.
And that's it. And that's how you bring it back around.
so let's end on a positive note. Vicky, Evan, Antwan, do you have anything positive you want to shout out? It could be yourself, it could be a friend, it could be something you saw online, just anything you want to shout out that's positive. I want to quickly shout out some friends of mine. I think I shouted them out before, but shout out to Reg, Deuce, and Naldo. They just dropped episode 10. There are 10 episodes in of their podcast, Not the Best Podcast. I feel like, 7 is the number that once you get past 7 or once you get past 10, that's when you know you got something and you're still going. So they just dropped episode 10. Shout out to them, Not the Best Podcast. I was part of their behind the scenes early on. Then they kicked me out. They didn't kick me out. They pretty much learned everything they needed to learn, and they took it and ran with it. So Not the Best Podcast. They're streaming everywhere. Check them out.
Mine would be pole dancers. Let me explain.
Please explain, because all the guys listening right now is like, all right,
The ears just
okay.
went up.
Okay, so I've been to pole dancing classes before. So I after my very first pole dancing class, I was like,
tell us about your first pole dancing class.
Much respect to strippers everywhere.
Okay.
Because
the energy.
That is the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy. I did not realize they have to do that and entertain people. Hell no.
Right.
That's way too much work.
Tell the listeners about the couples pole dancing class we went to and how I bodied it.
There's a couples pole dancing class?
I
gonna do that.
bodied it.
So anyways,
It's gonna be
doing that.
I love how he's like trying to get into my
into your
space.
positive.
Yeah. So I went again today to a pole dancing class, and the lady's like, this is my first time back. I just had a baby 4 months ago. She's like, so this is gonna be my very first dance back, and she like killed it. Like she was like going upside down and doing all these tricks, and I was like, sis,
I know that's right.
I couldn't even like walk to the bathroom 4 months after having a baby, and you're over here like doing backflips and drops and
flips and
mid-air. She's like
that's
doing poses,
right.
and I was like, wow, that's so
dedication.
magical.
We don't need the address for that. I want to go.
It's so
like
near.
right
It's
here.
like 3 minutes away.
Are
The
you
pole dancing
serious?
class. Yeah.
Well, luckily you guys are really
So-
close to us. So when he said we were doing a podcast, I was thinking he's like, "Oh, my cousin's doing a podcast." I'm like, "Oh gosh, we're going to freaking Teaneck."
Right, he really thought we were going
I
all
was
the way
like,
up.
"Are we
Right,
going
exactly.
to Teaneck?" I was like, "You're driving.
Right.
You're driving."
He didn't even know, and I was like,
driving.
and it's right around the block, literally, like
Yeah.
like 17 minutes away from
Yeah.
me.
So
like
shout out to pole dancers,
Yeah.
whether it's for stripping or competition pole dancing or whatever. Yo, that is the most magical thing I've ever seen, and if you can do it, just applause. I could barely like spin on the pole without
so
like
excited.
just
I
falling
need to see
apart.
this place. I'm so excited. I'm
O'Day, be
going.
quiet.
What's
We're
your,
not talking about you.
What's your positive thing?
What's my positive? Well, let's see. We got a turkey for Thanksgiving. Shout out to my mama. That's you know what? Shout out to Roro.
Yeah.
Aw.
That's the positive of the week. Like I will like the positive. Yeah, the positive of the week for me would be like the relationship with my mother.
That's so awesome.
I think this week it's been like official, a stamp. Like, all right, we good money. That's my mama too.
I
Like
love that.
nonetheless, we are. I've realized it's where it's mother and son, but in the most intricate kind of way that it can be.
That's awesome. I love that.
That's beautiful.
So this week I've realized like Mama Dukes and I we're good. Like that's
Is she gonna repost this clip?
like
She's
nobody's
She's gonna be like,
listening.
"O'Day, I need you to cut that."
So
Okay.
she's gonna want that in the.
She's like, "How do I set this up as a ringer when he
Can this be
when
the
he
text
calls?"
message?
It's gonna be in the family cousin chat.
Yo, everywhere. She's gonna want this on a banner, a T-shirt, and all.
That's good. I mean, we're on the same page a lot of times. Like my positive was, Thanksgiving. This is our first time together.
Oh yeah.
We're cooking.
I totally
Well, y'all
forgot about
hosting?
that.
We're cooking. We're hosting.
We're
We're
cooking.
hosting.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Now we might be able to get pernil. Vicky, are you doing?
I
pernil?
don't eat pork.
Oh, man.
Therefore, I don't cook it.
Hey, last
he's
year,
gotta do it. He wants
his
his
mom
pernil.
did it
He
for
wants-
Thanksgiving.
I don't do
You don't do
pork.
the
I don't
pork.
eat it.
Well, you know what? I'm the same.
I don't know
I don't
where
do the pork,
she-
but I do the ham.
But
That's how-
my aunt makes a minas pernil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's amazing.
It's the pernil. He wants a pernil so bad. for
Pernil.
Thanksgiving.
You gotta come to this side of town.
She,
You gotta
I don't know where his
pork
mom got
shoulder.
it from last year because she did this thing where the guys cooked.
Yeah, she
and
was not having us
But
last
she,
night.
of course,
We'll try that with the family.
she was smart
We'll
and
be
went
eating
and
bread.
she was smart and went and got some dishes for preparation. In
Yeah,
case.
because I was like, we'd be eating
Yeah,
bread on
right.
napkins.
So I was so
Listen.
happy, but I mean, I'm excited about Thanksgiving. I'm excited about his
Hey,
family
I cooked those greens.
coming to the
okay?
house, and we'll get to host.
That's awesome.
Oh my God, that's
That's
amazing.
I'm
awesome.
excited about that. I've been looking forward to that.
Is this the
It's
first?
like my
Is it
Is this the first big family
No,
over?
like ever
Yeah.
since we've been dating, we've been doing,
holidays
holidays
together.
I
Like,
usually
he's
go to
went
their house.
he went
or-
with some, cause
Yeah,
his family
but this
doesn't
time
do
This is
you're hosting.
our house.
You're
and we're
Thanksgiving.
and we're
cooking,
cooking. Now everyone has to come here. Like it feels different.
and I don't have to leave the house at all. I don't have
And
to
we
do
went this
anything.
like
You're
we
like
went
even
this
better.
morning like to go to Walmart and everything
Yeah,
to
we
like
did.
and it
We
felt
did.
really
We
good. I
did.
was like,
Yeah.
oh,
We
this
hit up
feels
3
nice.
grocery
I
stores.
was like, I like
we
this.
got in the house. We put our bags down and ran across the whole kitchen
Kitchen
floor.
like
We're gonna have a dinner.
We are gonna have a dinner.
We did Christmas. We did Christmas one year, and that was our first. Mind you, Vicky is big on Christmas decorations. There's like buckets of decorations.
Oh,
so
it's already coming out.
the house was decorated. I did the whole thing where I went and bought I went to the dollar store and bought some like plates, but it was some nice plates.
No, they have nice plates at dollar store.
We know about the holiday dollar store stuff.
Oh yes,
and
they have some really nice stuff though.
I got me a good old gravy bowl.
Oh my goodness, and really good like Christmas boxes for you to like either put cookies or like the boxes for wine
and
where
wine
you can
and
put
everything. I saw that already, and it
have
has the pre-bow and everything. All
Dollar Tree Christmas decor is the bomb.
Job lots, Dollar
Tree. I'm not
everything.
disappointed at all.
Yeah, we went all out. We decorated the table. You know, with our family, our culture, we go. The table had to be set. I had the table. I had the plate and the whole setting for the ancestors in the middle.
And the middle part of it, the fruits and everything. Like we go.
We had everything. Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Hopefully next year we can maybe host if we finish the basement. We'll stick everybody down there.
Everybody downstairs.
Yeah, no, because we have to redo the whole basement. So we're gonna try to do like an extended living room, dining room situation since
so you can host
down here is like
have
really
everything
small.
in one area. People come in and go back out.
Yeah,
and
they wouldn't be in our house.
Have to come nowhere else.
I want to put a sliding door so they can't come into the house. It'll just be stairs and basement.
And that was the first thing I purchased when I first moved to the apartment.
Was the dining room.
I was like, no, I need a table. And I went to Ashley Furniture. I bought a table.
Sat in it just that one time.
That's the first thing that we had was a table.
Table. You need you need your table.
My kitchen is the most important part of my household.
We made sure that kitchen. I think the kitchen was the first thing. Yeah,
it was firstly done. My kitchen was done before the bedroom was done.
It really was.
For me, it was in here.
No, literally.
No, of course. I can see it, though.
They put the bed together, and then he was like, all right, you have somewhere to sleep. I'm going upstairs. And then I had to kind of like arrange the rest.
Not even. Our second apartment, it wasn't even like, here, sleep on this bed. No, it was, here's these 3 couch cushions. Sleep on that. I'm gonna set the studio up.
Almost to that. Like I think we found when did we find our mattress? Like the day before.
Yeah, the day before.
Literally the day before we got our mattress before we moved. Like it literally. And I'm telling you.
I think the day of we
picked it up in Philly.
We drove to Philly from
because my cousin had just changed her bed. Like she barely used that mattress. She decided that she didn't want it. After using it for like maybe a week.
I know that's right.
And she upgraded to a king size bed. But she's like, she's so tiny that I was like, clearly this bed is for your German Shepherd because there's no way you fit in this big ass bed by yourself. So I was like, well, you just used it for a week. Me and they need a bed. Let me get that. Yeah, we just drove to Philly, picked it up.
And mattress is very important.
Yeah.
And if you can get one at a good price or for free, you should.
But thank you,
yes,
thank you both
so
for being here.
I had a good old
time.
This
was such a good time.
I didn't have to kill. I thought I was gonna learn some shit about myself that I wasn't expecting on to. You did good.
We did. I think we all learned some stuff. We all learned.
I learned not to ask Ode for hugs.
Right. I
think we all showed some humility. We all were honest and open. And with that said, I want to thank you all for tuning into this episode of the You, Me, We podcast. Oh wait! We didn't tell where can people find you guys online? If you want to share your social media.
Yeah, if you don't want to, it's okay.
Yeah, well, everyone they can find me at img__. Shut up. You're so
I am G like
it's
G
like GI __.
Another name.
You know what? You're aggravating as hell. And then that's it.
I'm on Instagram, greeneye626. That's GRNEYES.
Ooh.
626. Yeah, you got to get it right.
And I'm going to be watching who's following.
He's like, I already know who's following now.
I already know to follow.
Who's this?
Be careful. Let me stop. We don't have shenanigans.
Right. Okay, that person came from the
Right.
You're going to be getting messages like, who's this?
No shenanigans.
Thank you all for tuning into this episode of the You, Me, We podcast.
Woo!